Hi traders, good morning. Welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency, and before we take a look at the charts, take a look at ecs.SWAT if you like. Of course, trading patterns, basically I explain how to do that in my course and based on my indicators, and a lot of new updates are coming in the second half. So if you want to be already a member before all those updates are arriving, such as a new SWAT book, new SWAT course, new SWAT strategies, indicators, all of that is coming up in the next months. All right, that said, let's take a look at the euro dollar daily chart. And the euro dollar for the moment is again going sideways. Yeah, it's quite a battle between the euro and the dollar. I think that from a technical point of view, it's really hanging in the middle, and it just depends on the breakout direction at this moment. I'm back to neutral at this point. But ultimately, if I do look at higher time frames, I'm still leaning towards that upside. Now, that might not surprise you because I've talked about that for a long time, but basically, last month was still bullish, and so far price has stayed above last month's high. So that, I think, could indicate potential retracement. This has completed a five-way pattern. Some correction is taking place. I think a bigger correction might take place on this monthly. Weekly chart, it looks like there's a price pattern time pattern taking place after the double bottom right here. We can see a double bottom, and that could have been the reversal after a falling wedge. So some momentum here as well. This could be retracement for a bigger correction, at least to the 144 EMA at around 115 for the moment. Unless price breaks through this support trend line, of course, then that could indicate something else is going on. Price could then retest the double bottom, and if it breaks below 111, then perhaps continue with this downtrend down to the next round level of 110, for instance. So far, price is still respecting 4 daily lows, respecting these support levels, and we had about 4 times in a row an 88.6 fib bounce. It's quite remarkable here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these wicks basically here. So very strong support at 112. Of course, if price breaks through that, then that would indicate a lot. For the moment, price is still respecting that zone, and price is going sideways. So, question is this momentum sideways box for more downside? Then I'm waiting for the break. Or first sign of reversal, ABC pullback, extension of the correction, maybe ABC for W, ABC for X. This is a Y correction and an upside again. There was, in my view, on an hourly chart, there is 5-wave pattern here. So fair chance that this could be a correction for more upside. As long as price stays above this bottom, that could indeed take place. For me, a key level would be the 21 EMA high right here. There was already a break right there. That was the first break. Well, maybe the second, first, second. That would be the third break in that case. And typically those breakouts work a little bit better. So let's see if price is able to push above that zone, and if it's also able to push above the range here of around 112.80-ish. All right, those will be important signals for upside. If price goes sideways, makes a flag, well, then maybe a bearish breakout is starting to become more likely. That pattern would indicate potential correction there. So it is, all in all, it is a tough spot. It is a very choppy spot. It is certainly depending on the breakout, and a lot of deep retracements here. As you can see, 88.6 fib here, 88.6 fib here, and 88.6 fib here, and here. So that's quite a lot of them in a row. Quite remarkable. If I look at it from a fundamental point of view, which I don't do too often, I do think that there's a chance that the U.S. will cut the interest rates, and that, I think, could send the euro dollar higher. Of course, there is an ECB. I do think there's ECB news later this week. That will, of course, impact this euro dollar too, obviously, and that remains to be seen. But I think that typically the U.S. moves first. When I analyzed previous interest rate decisions, U.S. typically is the first tipping point in a new direction. That's why I'm leaning towards the euro dollar upside from a fundamental point of view, and then I think that the rest will follow, and then euro dollar will move down again. That's why I think from a fundamental point of view that euro dollar might make an upside, not too much, maybe to 115 perhaps, maybe 117.50, and then continue with this downtrend to, I don't know, maybe even parity. Let's take a look at the weekly. Something like this, for instance. A little bit of upside, and then basically when the rest follow the U.S. and maybe, just maybe a recession starts, price can go down like that again. That's what I'm kind of figuring at this moment. Now the pound Of course, there's a lot of Brexit news connected to it. There is a leadership decision for the Conservative Party, and therefore also the Prime Minister will be known, I think on Tuesday it is, Tuesday the 23rd. Big decision there, and that might impact, of course, any Brexit news might impact this pound. So far, there seemed to have been a lot of pound weakness at the beginning of last week. We managed to capture some of that with the pound odd and pound New Zealand. Managed to catch 200 and 300 pips on those. Very happy with that. And pound Swiss franc too, a little bit less. I think 150 or so. No, 125. And yeah, this pound dollar also moved down a lot. Seemed that it was going to break this bottom, but it did. But then closed in reverse, and because of that, it looks more like a double bottom. By the way, if you're interested in joining ECS Live, you can do that. Just go to our website elitecurrency.com and click on ECS Live if you're interested about that. Anyhow, seems like a double bottom at this moment, and therefore difficult to say. It could be 1, 2, 3. It could still be 1, 2, 3, or it could be ABC and up for ABC, or a 5 wave, 4 wave C actually. At this moment, it's hanging in the air, and both possible. This, if it is a wave 4, I would put a fib from here to here, and then price should not break above the 50 fib at the very max. Typically, waves 4 would stop at 23 or 23.6 or 38.2 fib. Typically, waves 4 are choppy and corrective. So let's see if a wave 4 pattern emerges here. But if it does break above the 50 here at 127.80, then it should move higher typically, and it's probably more of a wave C of some type. And that also depends a little bit on how impulsive price is moving up as well. If it moves up impulsively, that would confirm more of a wave C bullish pattern, not so much a bullish wave 4 that is choppy and corrective. So far, it looks like pretty good momentum, in fact. I mean, it looks like almost like a V-Valley reversal here, indeed. Look at that. With that, I mean like sharp down, sharp up. And so far, seems to have completed a wave 1, 2, maybe 3. This could be a deep wave 4. That remains to be seen. Let me check quickly if the wave 5 could have been finished. This wave 1 is 74 pips. This wave 3 is 70-ish, 71. And this wave, so this cannot be wave 3. That seems to be the shortest. So that's not possible, I think, unless it's up to here, which is 74. No. Probably this is still a wave 4, or it's an ABC. So that depends on if price enters this territory right here. Let's get rid of this line. Let's put a fib from here to here. There we go. And yeah, 38.50 fib bounce. Could be a wave 4 if it does move up higher. If it does break above the 20 EMA, the moving averages are aligned. And if it breaks above that and this resistance trend line, there could be a breakout for wave 5. Maybe a higher high at 125.75, 126. That could complete the 5 wave for either wave 1 or A. That depends a little bit on the bigger picture, right? But in any case, after that, ABC, and then a bounce up again, seems likely, no matter whether that is an ABC or a 1, 2, 3. That doesn't really matter. That in both cases, this 3 wave down and up seem likely. Now, if price does break below 124.57 here, then without making a higher high, I should say, then this is starting to look more like an ABC, and then this could turn out to be a wave 4 rather than a bullish reversal, especially if price goes deep. Then it could be some triangle maybe going on like this, or some correction, and after that, maybe a downside is starting to become more likely. All right, so once again, if you're interested in that ECS Live, here are some of the stats. Those stats are totally different now, actually. I have to update that. Sorry about that. This is already from a few months ago. These numbers are a little bit higher in the meantime. That's great. Actually, a bit more higher, but I'll update that next time. This is, in any case, the link where you can find more info if you want, and wish you all great trading in the meantime. All right? Cheers.